Las Vegas Strip and all the action here. This is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020.
Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Denver Broncos
and the Las Vegas Raiders.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Right to the air is Carr. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Kareem Jackson.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
Well, the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there.
Oftentimes, when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Play action. It's Wilson. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, one of the things we talked about coming into this one is that we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Midfield now. Here's Wilson. That's complete. It's Okuwebanam. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
Brandon, a good idea there on third down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop it well short.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Not the way they wanted to begin things. You had the interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to 3 points.
And remember our conversation with him prior to the ball game? He said they had something special designed for the first play. It didn't hit. Let's see if he can rebound from it and not let it get him down.
Pretty fortunate there. The interception that ended the last drive, and then boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call him to question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. The Raiders at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they were looking good until last week's loss took them from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this team to push the 72 Dolphins, but still, you got to take a lot of positives from this first month. If they can bounce back and move to 3-1, they'll be pretty well set up for the remainder of the season to follow.
Carr going to try and throw on third down. Flush to his right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's got some space here. And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Javonte Williams, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead grows to 10-0.
Broncos 10, Raiders 0.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey in that play that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Got the defense on their heels. 2 first downs in a row, and now a pickup of 8.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now they'll throw with Carr. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter.
Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted. Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
A give to Williams, running right. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Oh, he's got some breathing room.
He'll get it inside the 20.
And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy, quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and get it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Try to run for it with Jacobs. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Carr. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. I like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you.
Max Crosby, the one who got in there for the stop. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he is going to lose yardage here. And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to drop this one down to Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. They give it to Williams, running right. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
this one deep for Judy. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
Wilson now off the bootleg. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
22 yards there, a first down.
That's good. Las Vegas. First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Carr going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jacobs. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Carr got a man. It's Darren Waller. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10.
Carr down to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line.
And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try to buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
Looking deep for Adams. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They start the second half here with Williams. They find some open field here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 64 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Albert Okwuegbunam, the intended target. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll take this down to the 33.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Previously, the understudy to Noah Fant, Albert Okwuegbunam finally gets his shot at the starting job in his 3rd season in the NFL. Plenty of us remember his 4.49 40-yard dash in the 2020 Combine, so we know he's an athlete and can really stretch the field if they use him right in this offense.
Touchdown, Broncos! Courtland Sutton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half score. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus now for the extra point. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
I Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get over to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Throwing on first down is Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Out to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he's got Dorsett complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
Jacobs going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On 2nd and goal, Carr.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Now Carr. This is caught. Touchdown Raiders. Foster Moreau, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down now to 22. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
72 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Broncos got themselves a start when they took Williams early in the 2nd round in 2021. He finished 3rd among rookies and 13th in the league in rushing, despite splitting carries in the Denver backfield. They've clearly positioned him to be their bell cow this season. 1,000 yards, the bare minimum of what they expect from him in this campaign.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
At the 41-yard line.
As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play. Throwing on second down. Wilson. Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 29-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. They try the left side here with Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Here's Carr to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. They go play action now. Wilson. They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it now. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Play action. Now it's Carr. Rolling to his left. Gets this to Waller on the crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Carr. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Carr, a handoff here to Drake. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Play action to Drake. Now Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Davante Adams with career touchdown number 75. And the Raiders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down now to 22. goes the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he trotted out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
This is Hamler on the receiving end. Finding room at midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Wilson. Finds Dulcich out left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Here's Wilson. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. The kick by McManus is good. Well, I think congratulations are in order on that one. Only a handful of kicks in league history have ever been hit from 61 yards or further. Well, he was approaching record-setting territory with that one.
And the kickers that we know, they can't wait for this opportunity. They've been asking for it for a long time. They talk about it in practice. They put those little subliminal messages towards their coaches. Just give me a chance. I'll make it. And he went out there and did it. Wow, that was a heck of a kick.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. McManus's point after is good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Carr going to try and throw on third down. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
6-18.
To throw, it's Carr. Steps away to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Hey, 734.
Here's Carr. And that will be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Now Williams running left. Oh, good move. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
The tackle made by Jay.